Is it a good time to invest in Kitchener? And if so, then how you can capitalize on our multiple properties as an investment property in Kitchener? So stick around because in today's video, I'll be sharing all the numbers, facts, figures, which neighborhood to look into for investment purpose and few tips for first time investors. Hello everyone, my name is Parth Soni. I'm an agent and mentor based in Waterloo region. I help multiple first-time home buyers and investors to get into the market. So if you are someone who is investing for the first time, let me know. Happy to reach out to you. The only thing I ask, if you find any value out of this video, do like and subscribe to my channel. Here is the brief introduction before we get deep dive into the video. So Kitchener is located roughly about 100 km west of Toronto, and in the last couple of years we have seen exponential growth over here, especially in the tech sector, with a population of roughly about 260,000 people in Kitchener. So when I invest in any city, here's how I do my research, and that will be the framework of this video today. So for the purpose of this video, we'll be checking at the three things. The very first one is growth in the city and the surrounding neighborhood. The second one is how the local economy is performing. And the third one is the market trends. Now it will be a long and informative video, but if you are someone who has already decided to invest in Kitchener or know about Kitchener or from here, you can directly skip to the market trends. Now, the very first section is the growth in the city and surrounding. Now, if you're someone who has never heard about Kitchener and want to invest or know a little bit about Kitchener and want to know a little bit more about it, this is the perfect section for you because I will be uncovering more topics about Kitchener and what is happening in and around it. So Kitchener is fast becoming a tech hub with companies like Google, Communitech, Deloitte, and multiple innovation startups happening in Kitchener, and this is attracting many young professionals all over the world. Kitchener Waterloo is often known as Canada's Silicon Valley. In the last decade, we have seen more than 60% growth in the tech sector, especially in the job, making it one of the fastest growing region in Canada in terms of technology. To add more into it, Kitchener growth is not only about tech sector or real estate, they are adding more into infrastructure as well, especially the LRT, that is light rail transit, that is happening, which is connecting Kitchener, Waterloo, and Cambridge all over all three cities. This makes commuting so much easier, drawing more people to make their life easier, work and live here. Plus, with the planned expansion of GO Transit, commuting will become much more easier. From my personal experience, I have tons of clients who are moving from GTA to Kitchener and they always ask for a GO Transit. Right now, we have GO Transit Hub, which is connecting Kitchener to Toronto each and every morning and Toronto as well. Kitchener is not only about work, it does have tons of family-friendly neighborhood with plenty of amenities like from vibrant coffee shops, restaurants, park, and top-rated communities over here. Most of the families and professionals I work with, they choose Kitchener because of its balanced city life, community vibe, really good real estate prices compared to GTA, and a vibrant community. Now let's deep down into the local economy because as an investor, it's very important for you to check out the numbers in the city where you are investing. So Kitchener has a dynamic and growing local economy with a mixture of traditional industry and innovative sectors as well. Beyond tech, the city does have a robust manufacturing hub over here with companies involving mostly like automotive parts, advanced manufacturing, and food processing units as well. I firmly believe a city where you invest in needs to have some sort of a diversification in terms of an employment because we all know what happens in Alberta when the oil and gas crash down there. In terms of adding more to local economy, Waterloo Economic Development Corporation was formed in 2016 to support investment attraction, foreign direct investment, marketing and promotion of the region to businesses and supporting key growth sectors. More than 800 millions were invested in LRT through federal and provincial partners. So right now, LRT, that is a light rail transit that is connecting between Waterloo to Kitchener in their phase 1. The phase 2 is in plan, which will be connecting Kitchener to Cambridge. So all three cities will be connected very efficiently. Kitchener does have an international airport and it's recently expanded from support of the region with 375 million. The airport is home to 25 businesses that together employ roughly about 300 people and contribute 90 million to the local economy. The unemployment rate in Waterloo region is roughly about 6.5% as of July 2024 compared to 7.7% in Toronto of July 2024, Now, by no means this is a comparison video between Kitchener and Toronto, like everyone is doing great at their place, but I firmly believe as an investor, you should have an idea in the city which you want to invest. What are all the key factors that can affect the growth of your property or growth of your investment? So for example, unemployment rate in Windsor is roughly about 9.1%. So as an investor, I firmly believe you should be educated with all these facts because it does matter a lot. Because let's say if you're planning to buy something where the house price is very low, but the unemployment rate is really high, then it might not serve your purpose. You may be able to find a house with a very low rate, but not able to rent it out or not able to have a good appreciation out of it. And this is not the only metric to look for, but alongside other metrics, this should not be ignored. Now, in the third section, it's a market trend. So in this, we will check out the numbers, what kind of properties you should look for, what are the numbers look like, and what are the three main neighborhoods or the three top neighborhoods I suggest to my investors. Now, if you're interested in pre-construction investment opportunities, I will be covering that in my upcoming videos, so don't forget to subscribe so you get notified soon. So the very first are the numbers. Let's check out what is the average price point of all the houses in the Waterloo region. So if you see, the average price point of a Waterloo region is $788,000. Now, there are four categories, namely detached, semi-detached, townhouse, and condo. So let's check out the prices for that as well. So you see over here, the detached, it comes at $910,000. For the townhouse, you can roughly get about $595,000. And we have seen a drop in townhouse this month, but it's roughly about $650,000 for townhouses. The other factor is the apartment style condos, that is $483,000, whereas the semis are $654,000. Now, this only represents the average. As an investor, you should be more focused on a median price point, which is something we will talk about further when you're planning to go deep down into the discussion. Now, if you're a first-time investor, the major question is what kind of properties to look at or what kind of properties are available in that particular city. Now, this is something totally depends on what you want to do with an investment or what kind of portfolio you want to work with. I have so many people who go into Airbnb, or they are just looking for a burst strategy, or you might be someone who's just looking to have just like traditional investment where you buy the whole unit, just rent it out. Now, out of all this category, most of the time my clients prefer detached category because it provides a great flexibility and the return are also amazing on that. Now, based on the new bylaws, if you have a detached property, a single detached property in Kitchener, you may be able to build up to 4 units in that. And we have seen so many ADUs, that is additional dwelling unit, coming up into existence. Now, most of the time I prefer two kinds of categories for investment purposes. Either you go for a detached or either you go for a condo. Most of the time detached is much more favorable category. Now, the what we have seen, $910,000, that is the average price point, but what I suggest to my clients to restrict themselves to 650 to 750 in terms of price point and had some sort of capital for an renovation purpose into that. And I have helped so many buyers, so many first-time investors to get into that range and have some sort of a renovation to forcefully appreciate the price of that year. Now, the top three neighborhoods which I recommend to all of my investors is Southdale, Fairview, and Kingsdale, and the other one is downtown. Downtown is really amazing because government is focusing more on downtown right now, and they are like favoring the properties which is like a near distance to LRT or transit. So the process and applications become so much smoother and the approval is like guaranteed. Now, if you're someone who's looking for a positive cash flow or a neutral cash flow, it might be possible in Kitchener provided how much you are ready in terms of renovation and what kind of experience and expertise you have. And most of the time, if you're someone who's looking for a condo, I have run numbers for a few of the clients last month, you might be roughly in a range of about $400 to $500 negative. That is at least $400 to $500 negative each month for condo if you're looking to get into that. For a detached property, if you're doing a neutral neutral cash flow or have a positive cash flow of $100 to $200 a month, I would say you are doing really great in terms of Kitchener market. But here's the catch with a detached property. Not any detached property will get you that kind of positive cash flow or a neutral cash flow. You have to go for a specific type of property where you can add an additional unit into that. So what I refer to most of my client is a bungalow, which does provide an excellent return on investment, and you may have an opportunity to add an additional unit in the basement or might be in the backyard. Now, of course, this will cost you money. Like most of the time, here how the number works out. You buy a property roughly between $650,000 to $700,000. You add a legal duplex to that, that will cost you roughly about $80,000 to $90,000 depending on the type of the duplex you want to go for. It might be cheaper as well. And with that, after you rent out both the units, you may be able to have a positive cash flow of roughly about $300 to $400, which is really nice. But here's the thing, like the rental vacancy, most of the time you will be able to get a tenant easily, but I would recommend keep 1 to 2 months. We have recently rent out a property for our investor client. It took me roughly about 1.5 to 2 months. So just have that kind of leeway when you are working with this kind of properties. So whether you are an experienced investor or just getting started, Kitchener is something should not be ignored. With the booming tech sector, growing population, have an excellent economy with a good rental rate, this is something you should keep in your radar. And again, this is something you might have your options open when you're looking for an investment property. Don't just stick to 1 or 2 cities. Now, if you are ready to make a move or looking for a best investment opportunity out in Kitchener, let me know. We can book a free consultation. You can do it one-on-one call with me with the first link in the description. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell button for more tips like this. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time in the next video.